Hello everyone, happy Monday. Before I go into my video today, I just wanted to make a quick comment in regards to COVID-19. I am not, God's right hand man person or right woman person, right hand woman person. But what I do strongly believe is that God doesn't make things like this happen. It's not in his book. Does he know that it's going to happen? Of course, this is part of him being the creator of everything and knowing, what people are going to do before they actually do it, regardless if they're close with him or not. We're all children of God. He created us, right? However, I do believe that he actually allows things like this to happen for him to show his grace and mercy. Now, it sounds really messed up because of the situation, killing individuals around the world, etc., right? But think about it like this. As a parent, we allow certain things for our children to do, say, happen because we need them to learn a lesson, right? This world is so caught up in 9 to 5 jobs, having to work, needing to work, right? That we don't even have to put God in it, right? We can just talk about other things, such as people don't even sit and read books to their kids. People don't even sit at dinner tables, breakfast tables on the weekends, or even do a small fruit and a yogurt to go for their children. People don't even have time to look at their kids to see what they look like before they walk out the house. And it's not because they don't want to. It's because they're so caught up on the world's expectations. I have to work. I have to do this. I have to do that, to look up to this part, to look up this way, to seem like I'm doing this way, to seem like, they need to work to have the flyest car, to have, the flyest phones, the flyest technology, the flyest, decorations that you can't touch in the house. Like if you come in my house, I have everything that I need. That's it. I have maybe 1 or 2 things, like a clock, or something like that maybe I don't honestly need because I got the stove and then I got another clock over there, right? But it was cute. Maybe I got fake flowers because I don't like real flowers, right? In the middle of a centerpiece or something like that at my desk, or my bookshelf or the dining room table, Maybe I'll decorate, for Christmas, Valentine's, St. Patty, Easter, stuff like that. But people actually spend, $50 on a stand that, it's not doing anything. It just looks good right there. And that's how we actually live in this world, like, I'm just working this 9 to 5, and every day, every other day I have to stay until 7 o'clock, knowing that by the time I make my hour drive home, I don't even get to speak to my kids, get to know what they're going through in school, or how they're feeling, or, realize if somebody got snuck and my 16-year-old daughter is currently having sex, or my 16-year-old son is running girls in and out the house and not being the gentleman that I want him to be, etc., right? We're so caught up, you guys, on the world that all we used to say and all we did say, right, is time don't stop for nobody. Hello. What did he do? Made time stop. Now there's people, right, that actually are wanting to go to church just to get out the house. I know I have friends that, they actually don't go to church. It's not that they don't believe, some of them don't go to church because they don't believe. The other ones actually don't go to church because they don't want to go to church, which I don't blame them because I have church inside of my house off of live, streaming even before this, due to the fact that I've tried so many churches, right? And in the beginning, it seems like, everything is good and godly, but the minute that you don't do something, that the church thinks you should do, or sit where the church thinks you should sit, you can be the first, fifth person there besides the singers that don't really sit anywhere besides the back, right? and they get upset because you want to sit a certain place, or they want you to join a group, and you're just not ready for that just yet, or you just don't want that group, or that's not why you're at the church. You just want to do service, or they want you to usher, and you're like a baby, Christian. So you don't want to focus on ushering, picking up money and stuff. You want to focus on the word, At the end of the day, we got to understand that they're humans just like us, and most of them are doing it. And this is just my opinion. I don't have solid proof, but I can tell, should I say, by the way that they react when you deny their invite to do certain things, such as ushering, or, joining a group or something, or, being the leader of a group because they know that you do this on the side, et cetera, right? But I want you guys to understand that God doesn't make things like this happen. He allows things like this to happen for him to show his mercy and grace. God doesn't just say, oh yeah, I'm going to make a scientist, go, and put things in animals and then just let the animal go free. No, that he didn't put us here for us to suffer. He put us here to have abundant life. I believe that's like in 1 John something, which I'm actually probably going to be rereading it to you, right? But today I actually just want to make that comment, right? Understand that when God wants our attention, he's going to get it, okay? It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, and what you've been through. If he wants your attention, he's going to get it. And remember, he will leave his 99 to go find that one. So all of this could be happening for one person that me and you don't even know. And it's none of our business to know. It's just us trusting what he is doing and who he's doing it for is worth it, because at the end of the day, I will want him to do it for me. If I was that lost, if I was that corrupted, if whatever, we don't know who this person is and why he's doing it, but I promise you, it's a good reason on why he allowed it to happen. One of the other reasons we can see, right, is there might have been a person that was about to lose everything. And they was a faithful person, and did things right, but they're one of the ones that struggle, because in the Bible it speaks that you will struggle, you will go through trials and tribulations. It actually says it more than 3 times in the Bible. That does not mean that he's not with you. He never says that everything will be perfect and that you won't go through things. What he said was that he will be there through the midst of it. He will make it out for your good, be better for your good. And this situation is actually working out for the best of all of us. There's people that might have stopped working at a job that they didn't really like, but they felt as though they needed to. There's people now that work their behinds off and can't get paid enough because of them not being able to work all the time, but they work part-time, and now they're getting more money on unemployment than actually working. People don't understand, man. There's a blessing in every single negative situation in life. So open your pretty little eyes, people around the world, and understand that he doesn't make this happen. He allows it to happen for the better of even just one person in the whole entire world. We so caught up in our bubble world, that we think everything's about us. We think everything's is about our family. This could have also happened for every single body in the world to stop and smell the roses. Right now, what are you grateful for? Is it, spending time with your little ones, or are you the type that are actually just sitting in front of a, laptop or your desktop or your iPad or your iPhone, right? And just on social media, and not one thing posted about something positive or anything. All you're doing is looking at all of the negative things. People keep on talking about all of them, what is it called? The cases, that are positive and all of this other stuff, right? God bless every single one of those families, that are losing individuals throughout this time. I don't want to sound like I'm being heartless, but what about the ones that are not being infected by that? What about the ones that actually, are trying their best? People are going out and, telling people nobody told you to work, or you signed up for this. You don't talk to individuals like this in a hard time like this. Have some grace upon yourself, to share for other people. And what grace is love, you guys. And that's what we need to share. And this is what he wants us to start starting to understand. It's just like, enjoy the fresh air, and it's crazy that he actually is doing this now. Let me change my words, right? He's allowing this to happen now when it's about to be a summertime. Enjoy the weather. Sit down. People get stuck riding in cars, for hours in traffic to go to the beach, to be annoyed by this, to be annoyed by that, to start fights on the beach because they want this spot. Just enjoy your time. Go outside, take a walk. There's people that never been on a walk with their kids. There's people that never picked up a book or picked up the Bible for that matter, right? But just at least a book, a Dr. Seuss book that you can get for free online with a book bag at that, There's people that never even did homework with their kids and now you got to be homeschooled. I'm telling you, there's a reason why this is happening. Just understand that he doesn't make it happen. He allows it to happen. Now, I already talked about 10 minutes, right? I hope you guys got the point. You got to show each other some grace, man. I'm telling you, you have to show each other some grace. Without grace, life ain't nothing. Life is nothing. So before I go into the message, I should have actually said this before I started saying my little COVID-19, comment. Remember, you're better than the devil. And remember, you're unconditionally loved. And remember, you're saved by grace protection. You're better than the devil because the devil had an opportunity to be right hand with God. And he thought that he could be better than God. Nobody's better than God. That's why nobody's better than you. That's why nobody's better than me. Nobody is better than someone else. Why? Because you can't be that person. Yes, you might have better skills, meaning as you can probably cook a Spanish rice better than I can. You probably can spell better than I can. You probably can dance better than I can. You probably can do a lot of things better than the next person, but you can't do it the way they do. And every single body has a part that they can shine in life. We got to stop being so selfish. Show some grace. So today I am piggybacking right off of two people, Joel Osteen's book, right? And it's a mini 30-day book that you can actually get for free. And I'll share the link in the bio. And then there is Renee Fisher book that you can buy on Amazon, Forgiving Others, Forgiving Me. And then the Bible, of course, and then a live stream from yesterday's service with Stephen Furtick, I think is how you say his name, Pastor Stephen Furtick. Sorry, that was disrespectful. So I'm going to read you, off of my notes, but I'm telling you, I'll also share the link to that post, right? That thing was phenomenal. And the reason why I like Pastor Stephen, right, is because at the end of the day, right, and this is my little notebook, you guys, that I'm going to be reading from, but the reason why I love him is because even though now, right, you're not welcome at any churches due to this COVID-19, his personality is so phenomenal. It could be just one person laughing. It could be just only him laughing at whatever he says, right? But he makes every service so relaxing. We got to understand, right, that sometimes we're just so, serious for no reason. There's a time to be serious, but most of our time in life, we actually should be enjoying it, and we actually should be happy. And happy, right, is actually laughing. I remember I've been told a couple times, throughout my life that I'm very immature because I laugh and smile about everything. I remember there was a point in time that things just didn't faze me, and people said that so much to me, and this is before I got to know grace, right, that it actually got me so angry inside and got me to, hold anger and bitterness inside that I started realizing I actually go off about little small things. I actually am being a little bit extra. I like who I used to be, right? But check this out. So, what Pastor Stephen said yesterday, right? And I'm going to start off with there, then I'll go into Joe's stuff, right? Is what once was your survival ways is actually your death way. It's hard to let go of what you've been holding on to for so long. What he meant by this, right, is there's things that I used to do that actually helped me survive in life. But that's because I didn't know how much I was loved by God and Jesus. That's because I didn't know the definition or even knew the word grace in the Bible. I thought that was someone's name. His title for the live stream yesterday, right, was a letting go lesson, right? And one of the questions that he asked in this lesson, right, is what is normal? My normal is different than your normal. Why is that? Because I was raised with a hot breakfast every single day, right? Especially in the summertime. I was raised with, in the summertime, you go down to the Kingswood Community Center, because I was raised in Riverside in Wilmington, Delaware, to go get the free lunch. And that was my camp, right? I was raised, you wake up, you make your bed, you brush your teeth, you wash your face really good, you put some Vaseline on your face because face gets dry. You eat, whatever's put on the table or whatever you're able to make. You do not wake up the adults until they wake up themselves. And once they wake up, right, you can find your way outside. Outside, once the street lights were on, you must come in. You were not allowed to go within the certain premises, without going back to the house and asking for permission first. There was a hot dinner every single night, no matter what, on our dinner table. It wasn't sitting in front of the TV type of, party. It was sitting at the table, and there was nearly Spanish rice, Spanish soup, or a Spanish dish every single day. School was first. It didn't matter if you were sick or not. I had to go to school, and the teachers or the nurse would have to call my aunt, and then she would take the bus and come and pick me up. And by that time, I was in school all day because she had to catch about 2 buses every time. They would make, city students go all the way like to Newark or Newcastle types of school. And she would always have to get 2 buses because we lived in the Montes, which means the boondocks in English, right? So by the time she always got to me, I was already in school for, most of the day. But you were not allowed to miss school because DIFUS or the police was not knocking on the school on her door about you not attending school. You guys get the point, right? Oh, and every birthday party, you have to take something. It doesn't matter if you go to the bank and give them, 8 quarters and ask for a $2 bill and put it inside of a 50-cent card, right? But you have to give something. You do not go empty-handed to no birthday party. And you always help those in need. It didn't matter if it was your last. My aunt, man, I tell you, that lady lived in low income for I don't know how long, right? God bless her soul. But she would never throw away food. She would walk miles for her just to give the homeless people food or just to give a neighbor food. And she was always the one feeding the whole entire neighborhood. I wonder where I get it from, right? But my point of that is your life was different than mine's. That seemed normal to me. But was it normal? Did I fail to mention that if I did not do what I was told the first time, there was no second tries? I was getting a butt whooping. My butt whoopings consist of, curtain hangers, wire hangers being taken off and being beaten with. My consist of beating was going outside and finding a good, stick branch and getting beaten with it. It wasn't really no punishment. back in the day. No, you can't play with your toys, or you can't do this, or stand and fly. I know I put my son to, do the airplane, and that stuff hurts your muscles, but it builds. But, back then it was, getting a top big thick nail and a hammer and getting a pan top and flipping it over, making it holes and make the child nail on it, That was normal to me. Is that your normal? Your normal might have been that you had both of your parents. I was raised by my aunt, a single aunt at that, that was abused and molested herself growing up and already had raised her kids. And one of her kids, gave her a hard time. What is your normal? Do you have both of your parents? Do you have other siblings? Did one of your parents leave you? Did one of your parents die? Was you raised by your grandma? What is your normal? You know what I mean? Like, everyone's normal is different. So how do we know what is normal? This is the reason why we shouldn't bother to worry about what the world thinks about us. Because the world normal is, a picket white fence, 9 to 5, the husband being, cheating on the wife because the wife is exhausted by cleaning up the whole entire house, and his dirty boxers and shoes at the door, and the kids being, too grown too fast at school, and they got different age kids, and she's a stay-home mom, and she has to cook 3 daggone meals because she got all ages kids, and they have to eat. And, she doesn't get a time, and then she has dreams. Dads only have to provide. But what about mom's dream? Or how about now the world, normal is if you're not working and giving it your best and busting the sweat off of your, back, then you're not normal. You're not going to make it. What is the normal? So he says it's not normal, it's just old. Just because you're used to it doesn't make it normal. Old must die for the new way to live. God cannot by any means continue to bless you when you continue to be stuck in your old habits. The world was already sick, you guys. He said this too, right? But we didn't know what or who was important. God is rewiring how we speak to each other and how we live daily without him in it. God is asking us to let go of our habits and receive his fresh feeling of normal. Letting go of limitations of any controlling ways because we don't make it to the other side, which the other side is heaven with God. So many of us, are asking all of these questions about why is this happening? Why is he doing this? Why is he allowing it to do this, right? Why do you want to know every single thing? Why do you have to know? Why do you feel as though you have to know every single thing? Every answer to every question that you ever imagine? It's none of your business. Just have faith that it's going to work out. Just have faith that you're going to be protected, and every person that you come across will be protected, Excuse me. Release your need to know. The way God changes things is from the inside out. The world is from the outside in. The world looks at how I look and the things that I'm doing, and they have no idea how it's hurting me inside. They have no idea how much I'm struggling with, to wake up every single day, inside. They don't know. So what really takes faith is looking forward to it, not looking back towards your past. Only way God sets us free from things is taking it away from us. You cannot think that you can move forward. The definition of insanity, right, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And a lot of us work like that when it comes to God. We keep on praying and we'll change the way we're praying. Maybe we'll start getting on our hands and on our knees and putting our hands together, right? And maybe we'll do it more often than we used to. However, we still have the same habits. We still, don't talk to ourselves and remind ourselves, what we need to be changing throughout the day, He made this good, this good example too, right? So Pastor Stephen said that he apparently had like a PE, right, that told him that they can, what the problem is on people lifting weight, right, is not how much weight they bench or lift, right, is actually the grip of the way they're lifting, you know. So you can do a dumbbell, right, and the way that you're gripping it, right, is actually what makes the muscles hurt or sore up more faster or something like that, right? And that was a good example to me because we grip on things that we think that we need to control. We grip on things that we feel as though um, we can't really trust God, you know, to handle because we want things done still our kind of way, things that we're used to, right? We need to let go, loosen up, right? God said if you can hold a lot more if you hold it differently, right? You don't need that anymore. You don't need to be like feeling like you're in control of every single thing. It doesn't need to be that way for you. So now I'm going to go into a couple things from the 30 thoughts for a victorious living, right? From Joe Osteen. And I'm going to post this book on there for you, right? But you guys read Proverbs 1:8 through 33, right? Don't allow this world to change you, okay? John 10:10 is the actual verse that I told you guys earlier in this video, right? That God actually has come and given us a life for us to have it to the fullest, right? Allow yourself to understand that you're protected by grace. You know, in the Bible, on Proverbs 23:7, it says that if the way a man thinketh of in his heart is the way he is. Just because it says man doesn't mean that it doesn't apply to us females. The way a person is and feels in their heart is on this side, sorry, it's actually the way they are, the way they react, the way they handle, you know, situations in life. God has promised to lead you, and he's going to do that, right? So I want you to understand that I'm going to piggyback off of this book, and I'm just going to give you a couple things, you know, off of the book that I read that I feel as though a lot of people need to actually, you know, consider doing, you know. And I'm going to put the book in there. You can get it for free, I believe. I got it for free unless I got it because I bought something else, because I stay buying stuff from TBN and Joe Osteen and off of Amazon about God and stuff. Like, it's just... Like I told you guys before in one of my videos, I have so many things around my house that just reminds me. You know, I just bought this little piece that goes in on my dresser that is an actually a decoration piece, right? And it was about $15, and it stands like this tall, right? But it's hefty as crap. And it says, pray more, worry less. And those kind of things to me is just like I can put that piece wherever it fits with its weight, right? But it's an inspiration to me because it's something that I actually, you know, I need, because I don't have an actual physical support team. My support team is me motivating myself, my children, and God, you know, like, and it's not that I don't have friends and family, right? It's just that a lot of the people that I have surrounding me, you know, they actually are stuck in their ways. They don't want to see the change. They're scared of the change because the fear of the unknown is the main reason why a lot of people aren't successful and won't change their ways and won't push themselves. You know, to me, it's just like, I'm okay with speaking about a problem. Sometimes I get caught up, you know, on speaking it in a different way than I actually should, you know, be rebuking it, you know, but I'm a learning, you know, I'm learning how to do this, and I'm willing to be corrected. I want to be corrected. I want to be able to, you know, motivate myself to be a better person, you know, and sometimes you can't do that with people around you never correcting that you're mispronouncing a word that you shouldn't have spoken to like that, or you lost your temper, you know, too fast, too soon. We need those type of people around us, you know, and my type of crew that I used to hang around with, they won't say it to the individual that actually would help. They actually will go say it to someone else, whether they know the other person, per se, or just know of the person. And it's more of a gossip thing rather than, I just care about you and I love you and I want you to be better type of thing. So just understand, that sometimes the change God wants you to do is start feeding people with the long spoon. And that includes people from church as well. That includes people that you think, are into church and stuff like that. People aren't perfect, but Peter asked God, Jesus, how many times should I forgive someone that, basically betrayed me or something like that? 7 times. He said, no, 70 times 7. That number is 490, I believe. We spoke about this before, right? But that number was said for it to actually be a mind-blowing number where it's just like, I'm not going to keep up with that many times. It's just like, God didn't say, oh yeah, 7 times and then diss them and leave them, after the 7th time. No, and who keeps up with, after at least, the 7th time, you actually forget how many times, you actually just either, some people think you come accustomed to accepting it. It's not that, it's just that you learn to deal with it in a different way. You learn that God is in control, think the way God thinks, and it says in 1 Corinthians 2:9, no man has ever seen, heard, or even imagined the wonderful things God has in store for those who love the Lord. Try to think about God. I remember growing up, right? The number one thing used to be, what would Jesus do? Before you did something, they will always say, what would Jesus do? And now, nowadays, they don't actually even say the Pledge of Allegiance the right way, It's just like, who changed that? You know what I mean? Like, the world, people run the world. And as much as we think, we know it all, we actually don't understand how much it's affecting people. Make a plan, Proverbs 16:3, it says, commit to the Lord whatever you do and your plans will succeed. Don't make a plan just for you, speak what you seek. In Isaiah 45:21, declare what it is to be. Don't think about it. Also speak it, Make it known that you will be an owner of a company. Like I say all the time, I try my best to keep up with my hashtags, but I'm not that into social media stuff, and it's crazy because I go to school for marketing communication, right? But I just think that social media is a little bit overrated and is used for things that it shouldn't be, to my opinion. So I try to stay off of it. And try to do a limit of things. And one of my hashtags is count your blessings and Queen of Wilmington. And I say that because I'm going to be the one that actually makes a difference in Wilmington. They do a lot of fixing and stuff there, but I think the people that are in charge of Wilmington, like the leaders, they forget, there's people there that are actually being affected by the drugs and the murdering and the robberies and stuff like that, and them trying to push all the minorities out to make it, more of a like Lands End of Philadelphia, like it's not a business, it's the city, and yes, it's the projects, but just because it's the city doesn't mean that it has to be a negative project. And stand strong during adversity. And then I got one more, you guys. Ephesians 6:13. Put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. Don't ever think, that you have to be anyone that you're not. Just let the world be against you. It's all right. Stand strong, though, on what you stand for and what you believe in, man. Like, it'll get you further. And this last one is one that I think and I hope that everyone should really take with them, You are approved. You don't need the world to approve you. You don't need your boyfriend or your husband, that once looked at you with googly eyes, to still look at you with googly eyes, In Jeremiah 1:5, it says, before you were ever formed in your mother's womb, I saw you and approved you. God loved you. God knew who you were going to be, what mistakes you were going to do before you committed it. When you pray, pray it with a bold, sincere heart, you guys. When you correct someone, do it with grace and love. When you correct yourself, do it with grace and love. Understand that God speaks to us. I was just talking to my friend in regards to the Bible plans that we used to do all the time, and he's slacking, and I understand that there's things that are changing now, and some of us still are working actually our whole, 9 to 5 type of job. But we got to understand God must always come first. Period. Now, I know I'm not posting videos, and maybe some of you guys think I should be posting more videos because I'm at home, right? I just forget to hit that record button. Me and my kids read the Bible. We do study plans of the Bible. We ask each other questions. We pick each other minds, and we do a lot of fun activities. I try to post at least things that I know I have to record for my son's school. But parents, know that you're not alone. Everyone out there, know that you're not alone. Know that there's people out there that are struggling with the same exact feelings that you are. Understand that we all are in this together. And please take with you, you are approved. You don't need nobody else to approve you. I approve you because God approves you. If you want someone else in the physical, I accept people how they are. God bless. Stay in faith and stay positive. And please understand, you're not alone. I promise you, you're not alone.